Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Evan.
All topics presented in this podcast are highly likely to contain spoilers.
We tell you this as a courtesy to you, the listener, so that we may not ruin any movies or shows for you.
Thank you for listening.
This has been your spoiler warning.
Welcome to Your In Depth. Today we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian, Chapter 5, The Gunslinger. Evan, I have a tiny bit of Star Wars news to start off with. And then I thought if you didn't have anything, I would let you give the listeners our update for the next topic.
Oh, yeah. I did find what I was looking for. So.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well,
yeah.
we'll do that as well as the update then.
Mm-hmm.
But God dang it! Why does it have to refresh and lose my spot? I had found a post from IGN. That had said it wasn't anything about movies or anything, but basically that. Gosh dang it! Okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna find it. I don't want to just fill in the gaps in my mind.
Okay, well while you're finding that, I'll do mine.
Yes, go ahead and do yours.
So I found a list, and they actually have given some new official titles to some of the eras for Star Wars. So obviously, we have the High Republic, which is a new thing coming out. We have the Fall of the Republic, which covers episodes 1, 2, and 3 in the Clone Wars. It's actually titled the Fall of the Jedi. Sorry, the Fall of the Jedi. One of the new ones is the Reign of the Empire, which basically covers from Revenge of the Sith up into A New Hope. And some of the stuff that's going to be in there for that is the Bad Batch series are coming out with. The Solo film is part of that. That is it a TV show or film with the one dude from Rogue One? I can't think of his name.
Cassian.
Yes. That series is taking place during the Reign of the Republic time period. The Age of the Rebellion, which has Star Wars Rebels, Reign of the Empire it covers from Revenge of the Sith until the events of the Solo movie. Age of the Rebellion covers Star Wars Rebels, Rogue One, and then 4, 5, and 6. So A New Hope, Rise of the Empire, and Return of the Jedi. And then they have the New Republic era, which has the Mandalorian. It's going to have the Ahsoka Tano show. And I believe the Boba Fett, I think it's a book they're doing.
Yeah, the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, and all that is part of the New Republic era. And then the Rise of the First Order has the garbage sequel trilogy in it.
Well,
And the Resistance TV show in it. But yeah, I actually found that. I guess that's a new thing that they've come out with. So thought that was pretty nifty.
I see. Yeah. I did find mine. Yeah, that's cool that you got kind of titles.
Yeah, they've actually titled them out and kind of split up the Empire portion. With the Rise of the Empire being part of it during between episodes 3 and 4, and towards the end of that it goes into the Age of the Rebellion with the Rebel TV show and Rogue One and all that. But yeah, I think it's just kind of cool they're actually kind of splitting it up more now, so they can, I guess, do a little bit more within those smaller time periods they've made. But,
yeah.
Anyways, you had something?
Yeah. Well, see, I don't understand why I can't ever, I've got it pulled up here, and it was on IGN on Instagram, and now I can't find it.
Oh.
I lost it again. But basically, it was saying that there was rumors around about a new video game for Star Wars coming out that is under neither EA nor whatever the other main company is.
I think I saw something about that, yeah.
And I have been hearing various things about maybe a new open world Star Wars game coming out, and like just some different stuff like that, and it's just kind of cool to see that kind of thing develop. But I can't find the exact thing because it keeps like I scroll and I find it. Earlier I found it and I was like, all right, I'm going to pin this. I should have just bookmarked it, but I'm not quite used to Instagram. So I should have, but I found it. I'm like, all right, I'll just leave it here. And then I go to open it for the episode. Found it. Go to mention it. Lost it. It's like, what the heck? So, whatever.
Yeah, I saw something about that too a little while ago. Probably a couple weeks ago now, I think. And yeah, it is, I guess, like you said, a rumor of an open world game. I'm just really hoping it's not like mass, like an MMO.
Oh yeah,
I'm really
like Elder Scrolls Online or something.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's more close to like the Skyrims and the Fallouts,
Yes.
not Fallout 76 because that was garbage.
Well, honestly, yeah, and I'm kind of the same way, like a Red Dead, Far Cry kind of open world thing
I'm
where you
also
can go anywhere.
hoping they'll do
there's plenty of
multiplayer with it as well, so you could have like
Yes.
2 to 4 people playing if you wanted to,
Yeah.
kind of like they
Nice.
did with like Tom Clancy's what's it called? Not The Division,
Wildlands.
Breakpoint,
Oh.
or Wildlands 2, yeah.
Let me see.
Maybe something like that, or like when you go into like a hub, like you can see other players. But when you leave that hub, you're out on your own or with like your 1 or 2 buddies that you're playing with. I'm hoping to do something similar to that. I think it'd be really pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only thing this is not what I had read earlier, but the IGN Daily Fix that kind of gave the story. It says rumors have also begun swirling around Knights of the Republic 3. Old Republic. They did it. Knights of the Old Republic 3, the follow-up to Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords and its mysterious developer, whatever may be coming. But this is not what I saw earlier, and so whatever. Heck with it. I'm not going to keep digging into it. I'm getting frustrated. But anyway.
Anyways, we do have some other information.
Yes. We and I'll let you say what the topic will be, but in the beginning of this, we had decided that it's like we don't want to only cover Star Wars. We love Star Wars, and I think that should be like, I mean, that's always going to be a part of it, and because that's just a forever, never-ending, expanding thing, so there's no way we're going to not cover that as it comes out. But we would also like to add diversity to the topics that we cover, so we are going to start covering another topic starting next episode. The very next episode that comes out of this podcast should be episode 1 of this new topic. So Evan, what exactly is that topic?
So we decided that we are going to cover and we're just going to start with the movies, just like we're doing with Star Wars. But we're going to be covering the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. And Jake and I were talking, and we're going to end up having to break them down into multiple podcast episodes per film, because we are doing the extended cut versions, not the theatrical versions, and the extended cut adds like an extra hour to each movie.
Correct.
So, we are going to be breaking them down into 2, 3, potentially even 4 podcast episodes per movie, depending on how long it takes for us to get through them. And then, if you guys want more lore on, the Star Wars, or not Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings universe and whatnot, you can always put that in your comments and whatnot, and we can get that information for you. But we're just going to stick with, the 3 Hobbit movies and the 3 Lord of the Rings movies for right now. But that is the next subject we will be covering, as Jacob said, starting next episode on the podcast.
Yep. And actually, Evan, I don't think I actually asked you for sure. So the order of how we're going to cover that is the Lord of the Rings and then the Hobbit, correct?
Yes.
Because I know chronologically Hobbit happens first.
Yeah, so we're going to cover Lord of the Rings, and it's going to go, for those that are unaware of the order, it's going to go Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, then Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, then Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. After that, we will cover The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, and then The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies.
Now, what was the reasoning for doing it out of chronological order?
Part of it, honestly, is just the way it came out, and I know we didn't do that with Star Wars, obviously. But the Lord of the Rings films, obviously, they came out like early 2000s. But some of the characters that you meet in The Hobbit, unless you've seen Lord of the Rings, some of them might have like a mystery to them, I guess. And it's mainly like, just for some of the characters, like Gandalf. You first get introduced to him in Lord of the Rings. In The Hobbit, they don't really cover introducing him as much because we've seen him in other films. And like another character his name is Elrond. Another one is Galadriel. Another one is Saruman. Like some of these other characters, and in Saruman in particular, that character has such a huge role in Lord of the Rings, where his role is completely different in The Hobbit. But you don't really get introduced to him in The Hobbit. You just kind of see him pop up. So when we're doing Lord of the Rings, we get that introduction to characters first. And it'll also give some understanding to some other events in The Hobbit with having that background knowledge.
Yeah. So you're saying that because of, I guess, more so the intent in which it was created, like the kind of like some of the storytelling, I guess, the way that they made this kind of is more so like to where it's aimed at the fans of Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of like, hey, here's you guys know the characters, so here we're gonna have them do something rather than introduce them.
Exactly.
So in that way, because it was written in that way, it would be probably better to watch Lord of the Rings first and then go into The Hobbit, even though that chronologically it's the other way around. It's just because of how things were written. Yeah,
and so just a brief example with one of the characters, his name is Elrond, and in Lord of the Rings he gets introduced, and you're told that he's been alive for not centuries. What's more than centuries? He's been alive for like over 3,000 years.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, he's been alive for a long ass time. And you get told that he's got all this knowledge and he's very smart and he can really help people and whatnot. And then you see him in The Hobbit, which in the movies wise is 60 years before Lord of the Rings, and it kind of just jumps right into it. You don't get that background knowledge as much of him being. I don't want to say millennia because that just seems like too long, but it might be millennia. But he's literally like thousands upon thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And so in the Lord of the Rings, you get that background knowledge, and then when you go in The Hobbit, you're like, oh yeah, duh. But anyways, yeah, that's the next subject we're covering, and that's the order we will be doing it in.
Okay. Also, well, that's funny. Hold on. I'm looking. Oh, come on. Okay. Here. What is a period of 1,000 years called? Google says that it's called a millennium.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been alive for millennia.
Yeah. So, like, I'm going like off topic because we're doing Star Wars, but in one scene he says like I was there 3,000 years ago, right? So like, we know at a minimum he's been alive for over 3,000 years. And so, like, just that background gives you more knowledge of the character. It will just help people understand.
Sure. Just because it was written with that understanding in mind, it is better to go the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I have nothing else to share outside of the episode.
And I do apologize for kind of going off on a little rabbit hole there.
You're fine, dude. I literally just recorded my other podcast, and that is nothing but rabbit trails. So I'm 100% used to it, and actually, I think doing it this way kind of warmed me up to this crap.
Well, and this will be your first time watching the movies as well, which will be
yes.
really cool because I've seen them, I would say, several hundred times. Like, that's not an over-exaggeration either.
Yeah.
And this will be your first time seeing them, so, you'll have questions that I will not have thought of.
Yeah, and
so
actually,
nice.
and I think that'll be useful because especially if, let's say, somebody were to just watch the movies and then they're like, oh, I have these questions. I'm gonna search for a podcast to kind of dive into that. Now,
yeah,
who knows if they would. They probably wouldn't just choose us first, but like I'd like to be hopeful. But anyway, so then maybe I would have the same questions, and so that'll be kind of nice. There,
so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh. Anyway, so.
But anyways, let's get into the episode.
Yeah, Mandalorian Chapter 5, The Gunslinger. Just the quick synopsis, the quick little summary that it gives. It says, on a familiar desert planet, the Mandalorian helps a rookie bounty hunter who is in over his head. I started off my note-taking on a very high note because usually I just write episode starts or starts. Well, right now I misspelled it and it just says sharts. So I think we're off to a great start. Anyway.
This episode starts with Mando in his ship out in space getting shot at by another ship.
Yep.
And we get a brief glimpse of a tracking fob, actually. I just noticed it right here. Hanging down from the other ship, like where almost like that back mirror that front mirror would be on your car to like look out your back window.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing a blank on what it's called. Whatever. But it looks like that's where the tracking fob would be hanging, so it's kind of like, okay, he's here for the child.
Yeah, he's another bounty hunter chasing him, and they're kind of exchanging a little bit of
dialogue.
Yeah, between the radio line, and so and then this kind of like dogfight kind of. Well, it started off with a dogfight. They're shooting at each other and stuff.
Yeah, and it really just comes down to Mando's ship gets hit, and he's kind of trying to get away. Really.
Yeah, he's pretty well trying to outrun him at this point.
Yeah.
Well, what I thought was kind of funny, and just because this was a scene, there's not a whole lot going on other than that. This guy is aiming at him, and he says, I can bring you in warm, or I could bring you in cold. And I thought it was kind of funny, especially what happens next, because Mando, deploys his, kind of whatever you were to call it that slows him down.
Yeah, and his drag flaps and
drag
basically stops in place.
Yeah, and the guy zooms past him, unable to slow down in time, and then Mando locks onto him, and he just goes, "That's my line," and then shoots him.
I did notice though. Actually, I just noticed it watching this time. That bounty hunter that's tracking Mando actually clips one of Mando's engines when he goes over him.
Oh yeah, he hit him.
And I didn't realize that before. And I think that's probably where, because right now Mando's he says we're losing fuel. And I think that's that other ship hitting him is how he starts losing fuel.
Yeah, that's the damage that he took. That I think.
Child just started giggling.
Yeah,
because I've got the captions on it. It literally says "Child giggles."
Oh, goodness. But I do like how how in Star Wars it's kind of funny to me because it's like, really, just because like, and you saw it in the old films, and I think that maybe this was a tribute to those. It was just kind of like a reference, but you see when a pilot blows up, it's like they scream and then it blows up, and I just don't think that they would have time to react that way, you know. But like, it's just always funny to me, seeing that.
But then, so Mando's ship loses power, and he's doing some.
I thought he powered down and drifted to save fuel. I thought that's what he did. Because I think he powers down, and I thought it was to save fuel because he kind of drifts a little bit, and then he starts it back up, or as I wrote in my notes, sharts it back up for entering Tatooine, because that's what he ended up. He's radioing into Mos Eisley.
So he does not shut down the power.
No, it shuts off.
Yeah, okay. So the captain just said engine powers down, and he's like looking around confused, like, "Oh crap, here we go."
Okay.
Then, yeah, so he's kind of like messing with the ship and whatnot, and kind of working on it to get the engines back up. Obviously he does.
Mm-hmm.
But then he starts making his descent towards the planet.
Yes, and that planet is Tatooine.
That planet is like Camino.
Yeah, anyway, so right here on Dagobah, we see that, he enters in, he radios into the Mos Eisley radio tower, whatever it may be.
And he hears back, Spaceport Mos Eisley.
Sure. Yeah. And
Yoda, get it? I'm very bad at this. I'm sorry.
He actually, what he heard back was, Papa John's, what can I get you?
This podcast is sponsored by Papa John's. Joking, it is not. It is not. Okay, we are not getting any money from this. I'm joking.
It's probably not okay to say that.
Oh.
But anyway,
never mind.
He arrives on Tatooine, and he lands in this bay, and he meets this person who I only imagine, and this was before I learned the name, I only imagine her name was like Fran or something like that, just because like the poofy hair and like the attitude, it's just kind of funny.
I really like how we see the pit droids though again.
Yes,
kind of like a throwback back to the Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, she does look like a Fran, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. But anyway, so he doesn't have enough money to pay her outside of just the the kind of basically the keeping it there. So he goes off to try to find work to get her money. And he leaves the child in the ship, and as he's walking, though, after he says goodbye to her, he sees stormtrooper helmets on pikes.
Yeah. Right? I think one thing to point out, though. Sorry, can I backtrack?
We are. We're back to the normal routine. Last episode was just weird. It was just me following along, and I did not like it. It was boring to me. But this, every comment, just like, hold on, you missed something. Oh, God, I missed it.
Well, other than this one thing, I just think it's kind of important to point out because it goes back to like his backstory. But he specifically like clarifies to her, no droids. He does not want droids working on his ship whatsoever.
Yeah.
And on like 3 different occasions in their dialogue, he says no droids. Which I think just points back to, his childhood. Because as we've seen flashbacks, did we see the one? The
we've
Super Battle
seen
Droid?
Prior, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like a flashback to his childhood when the Separatists attacked his village.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, we get to the point where he sees the stormtrooper helmets.
Yes, and
on pikes or spikes.
Right.
Spikes.
And he keeps, or pikes, spikes, whatever. I don't know. Maybe they're northern fish. I don't know. Anyway, so he keeps moving along, and then it goes back to Fran. And it actually, the subtitles clarified her name. I guess it is Pel Motto.
No, it's not as Fran.
It's
She
Fran.
is,
We're just going
from
to call
now
her Fran.
on, referred to as Fran.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, you know what? Honestly, someday I really hope that someday we get to the point where we have a large enough following that it would be worthwhile to start a Wikipedia page or like a wiki for all the names that we have come up with for Star Wars characters. Because, like, honestly, the Nemoidians, I call them Guppies. This person we're calling Fran. There's one other one. I don't remember what it was, but you know. But anyway, so it goes back to Fran, and she hears something in the ship, and it kind of pans over, and we end up seeing the child just kind of wandering on out.
Yeah, like the child just like woke up from a nap.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just like, what's going on here? And he's literally just walking down the ramp. Just
I
like,
think it's kind of funny though, because the droids are like the three pit droids are sitting there like kind of like slowly approaching as well. Like, whoa, what's that? What is it? Oh my god.
Yeah. And then she picks him up and is kind of like talking a little bit, and she basically just says, basically that she's going to watch after him, but she's going to charge Mando extra. Yeah. Oh man. Which actually, really quick before we continue, I think this is maybe a good spot to try out our first sponsor. Yeah, we've actually got an unofficial, maybe kind of awesome, maybe real sponsor. So this is my first sales pitch, and I apologize if I butcher it. But anyway, greetings, intergalactic traveler. Are you in need of repairs? Then come visit Pell's Auto Care, located in Pit Bay 14435 on Mos Eisley, Tatooine. She and her clanky crew will patch you up good. Got a child with you? Don't worry, she'll babysit for you. Well, for a fee. But if you're looking for a repair job and want it done, all right. Come to Mos Eisley today and ask around for Pell.
Nice.
Yeah. Haven't really received word on what Pell may be paying us, but I thought we'd get a head start on it.
I think we should charge her like, I don't know, 100 Imperial credits. Does that sound good to you?
I don't know the conversion rate. That sounds perfect.
Sweet.
Anyway, though.
Yeah,
Mando
so this
in.
Podcast is sponsored by Pell. From Mos
Pell's
Eisley,
Auto
we are
Care.
getting
From
100 Imperial credits for this sponsor.
Yes, and we are totally getting money, also maybe not, totally not, from Papa John's. No, but anyway, no, Mando goes into like
I went to take a
saloon,
drink
like
from my Gatorade when you said that. Oh man,
Nice.
It almost came out my nose.
Well, anyway, so Mando goes into like a bar, and he's like, "Hey, droid," and like starts talking to him, and through a little bit of conversation, somebody calls out to him, and he meets this person looking to enter the guild. He says that he would like some help. Basically, Mando can take the full like reward. He's not interested in that. He just wants to become part of the guild. He shows
is hunting a very deadly target.
Yeah, an elite mercenary named Fennec Shand.
And his name, is Toro Calican.
Yes, and I did not catch on to his name until a little bit later on, so I would have mentioned it, but this is good to mention here. But anyway, he kind of talks to him, and he agrees to help him. He basically says, "All right, Toro, go get like speeder bikes and some supplies, whatever he may have mentioned, I don't remember, and meet me basically back at the bay."
Yeah, and I just want to point out too, just for, I don't even know what to call it, but the stupid kid does mention that the tracking
Evie?
fob, not the cat, the kid.
I thought you said...
This guy is trying to get Mando to help him. But he points out that Fennec has... The fob tracks her across the Dune Sea.
Oh.
Just for people that aren't aware what that is a giant-ass desert. So think like the Atlantic Ocean, maybe bigger. And it still takes several days with today's technology for us as people to get across the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, I mean, aside from...
Unless you're taking a plane, you know.
But
on like ships, it still takes several days at a minimum.
Yeah.
So like this, she is... Yes, it's a planet, and planets in Star Wars distance and travel and whatnot are very small. But for them on foot or even on speeder bikes, that is still a very long distance for them to go. Like people die out in the Dune Sea on the regular on this planet.
On the regular.
The regular. Yeah, okay.
Ever tell you that story?
No.
I went to a sandwich shop. I can't even remember where it was, but there was this guy with a specific modern accent and or way of speaking, and he was basically like he was asking for my drink and like what I'd like, and I was like or he's like, you like a drink with that? And I'm like, yeah, I would. And he was like, all right, cool, man. What can I get you? Can I get you a tall or a regular? Or something like that. He said it regular. I'm like, what? Is that a thing? Like, do people... Is that like a slang? Is that like... What? I don't understand. But, yeah, regular. I guess that's a thing.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was important to point out that, like...
Yeah, and...
Where they're going to have to go for this bounty is a very deadly place.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, like, people die there... People, alien, whatever, like, people just for easy terms. They die there all the time, whether it's from dehydration or from Tusken Raiders or from wildlife. Like, it's a deadly place where they're going.
Yeah.
To find this bounty. I just thought that was very important to point out and key on.
Yeah. But anyway, and then, so Amanda returns to the bay. Mando returns to the bay and talks to Pell. She lets him know that she fixed up his ship. It doesn't really sound like she did a great job, but she's a sponsor, so she did an amazing. She kind of did okay. She did a good job. She did. It works. Anyway, and then Mando and Toro take off on speeder bikes out on their hunt. Along the way, they are looking around and they find some Tusken Raiders. And they need passage across the Tusken Raiders' land.
Well, and I think it's kind of funny too, though, with when they find the Tusken Raiders, they see the banthas out there in the distance, and like I can't remember what his name is. So the kid, that's what I'm gonna call him. Toro. Yeah, the kid.
Okay.
Like, you know, he uses binoculars and he sees two Tusken Raiders out with the banthas. But he's like, okay, we should keep a distance and whatnot. And Mando's just like, yeah, well, it's too late for that.
Yeah, and they're like right next to him.
Mm-hmm. And this is actually where we learn too, because we don't get a lot of knowledge about Tusken Raiders. Mm-hmm. That Tusken Raiders aren't just like wild beasts, kind of like how Anakin treats them in Attack of the Clones.
I killed all of them, not just the men, but the women and children. All right.
But like they're actually like sentient beings, and they have the view that, you know, Tatooine is their home, and everybody else is trespassing on their home, and that's why they attack people.
Yes.
And a little bit of background about Tuskens, sorry, since we're at them.
That's fine.
And so this is like thousands upon thousands of years before like the Old Republic, mind you, is when this takes place. Not to show what I'm about to say, for clarification.
Okay.
But Tusken Raiders and Jawas actually came from the same species. Yeah. And so basically what happened was that species used to live on Tatooine before it was all deserty and desolate and deadly. And they were an advanced civilization, giant oceans, huge cities, all this like fancy stuff. Well, another species found Tatooine and basically bombarded it into the ground, and basically is the reason for Tatooine going from nice, tranquil place, popular and all that, to a straight out hellhole.
Interesting.
And so some people from that population that used to live, that species that used to live on Tatooine, left and then came back later and became Tusken Raiders. The other half stayed on Tatooine but went underground and through evolution over thousands of years became Jawas.
So that's okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't remember where I read that, but I do remember reading that because I was like, where? Oh my gosh, this is so stupid but kind of interesting at the same time.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's wow. Okay.
But yeah, I figured I'd just bring that up since we're seeing some Tusken Raiders.
That's fair. Yeah. No, I appreciated that. That's interesting. But anyway, so these Tusken Raiders, they need passage, Mando and Toro do, across the Tusken's land. And apparently Mando this boy is multilingual because he starts
signing with them.
He negotiates. Yeah, he starts doing them, sign
straight
language.
Straight up sign language. Like, pretty impressive.
Yeah. And...
And he trades Toro's binocs for safe passage.
Yeah, he trades the binoculars of Toro that they were brand new, and as Mando emphasized, were. He gives them that for passage. And as they go along a little bit more, they come across a, as Toro called it, a dewback. But I think, is it just a bantha? Or is it different?
I
didn't notice. That's what he had called it. I swear.
No, it's something completely, it's different.
Okay.
So I don't remember if it actually shows it in A New Hope. But it's basically like a giant lizard.
Okay. Kind of looks like a four-legged...
and like a Komodo dragon almost, honestly.
Shoot. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. But anyway, they're...
In one of the Lego Star Wars games, or I guess if you played the complete saga, one of the missions you're playing on Tatooine with like old Obi-Wan and Luke, and you actually see some of those lizard things in the game. I just can't remember if you actually see them in A New Hope. I thought you did when the stormtroopers are like looking for the occupants of this escape pod in the beginning of the movie.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's basically like a giant lizard.
Gotcha.
But one thing I thought was really interesting as well, in the scenes where it just shows them on the speeder bikes kind of from a distance, if you like look past them at the scenery and whatnot, it's just straight desert.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a couple like dunes out in the distance, but there's no like mountains or anything like that until we get to this scene where we see the dewback.
And that is what it was called.
Let me just make sure, because why not? Might as well check it out.
Well, I could have sworn that's what Toro called it, but
but like you just see how expansive the Dune Sea is with some of these shots that it gives us.
But they do see this lizard dragging behind a person or a thing as a rider that had been killed and dragged.
And they don't refer to anything else, by the way.
Okay. Well, anyway, Mando goes up there to investigate, but he's fairly hesitant He has his gun drawn, and he walks up there and looks at the guy, and it's dead, but he notices that it has a tracking fob beeping. And as he looks at it, it kind of like he's able to read it and position it right as he is shot. Fennec is sniping at them. Coincidentally, only I know. Coincidentally, only hitting Mando's Beskar. As they discuss a little bit later, she's going to wait for them to leave because she has the high ground, which, by the way, having the high ground is always key. Anakin.
God, that just reminds me of Return of the Jedi. Towards the end of it, with Luke, when Luke's standing up, Luke's fighting Darth Vader, and Luke gets the high ground. Darth Vader looks up at him. He's like, "I see. Obi-Wan has taught you well."
Wait, does he actually say that? Yeah. That's awesome. I don't remember that.
So Mando does also say when Ashley gets hit, that only an MK model rifle can make that shot. So I'm assuming that's some rare high-powered weapon in Star Wars that she has. I would assume because he's like only an MK model, like not your standard crap could.
Well, it doesn't sound. Yeah, regardless, it doesn't sound frequent or
Yeah.
Like common is the word that I meant to say, not frequent.
And Mando even says at that range that he got hit, the Beskar held up. So that's like kind of implying that if he's any closer, that bolt's just going to go through his Beskar.
Yeah. And I actually like following that Toro, because he's just like, wait, but I don't have any Beskar. And he just looks at him like, yeah.
He looks at him like, yeah, sucks, doesn't it? Beskar's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But anyway, they wait until night. Mando takes a nap. Toro kind of dances around, acting like he's going to shoot Mando when Mando's watching him the entire time.
Yeah.
But he develops a plan that what they're going to do is they have flash charges, and they're going to ride their speeder bikes straight towards Fennec, and they're going to alternate flashing charges so that she gets blinded through her scope, so she can't aim at them.
Yeah, and we do get to see her scope too as she's looking through, and it's almost like it's an infrared scope.
Yeah.
Or something similar, so that would definitely, obviously it works. But like realistically, if you did something similar, that would work. Because when you're looking through infrared, like sudden bright flashes basically blind you.
Yeah, it's like amplified by a ton.
And it really sucks when you're looking through some like night vision goggles and someone decides to turn on the headlights of their car. That really sucks.
Can't even imagine.
And yes, I'm talking from personal experience.
So she keeps firing away though, and aiming, and they keep alternating shots and stuff. And eventually, Mando, he gets his bike is hit, and it explodes. He tumbles off of it, and Toro keeps going. And Mando stands up, and he just gets shot again, straight in the chest. Once again, Beskar, because that's all he ever gets shot in. Even though there's
Beskar, what can I say?
Well, I know he does, but there's various points where, like, in between pieces. But whatever, whatever. And I think I want to even say that in this case, it does take a little more damage, doesn't it? Because he looks at it a little bit more. Maybe it doesn't, but he's closer, so I kind of wondered about that this time around.
Yeah. But, I mean, after he gets hit, though, too, we see, what's his name, Toro?
Toro.
Toto. But anyway, so Toro ends up behind her, and they start fighting, and then we get a brief glimpse at Mando, and we do see, like, a scorch mark on his Beskar.
Oh, maybe that was it. Okay.
Yeah. But, Fennec is, like, kicking the crap out of Toto. Um, and like he gets
Only
a couple
there's-
moves in, but like it's obviously like a one-sided fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. So okay, here's my question though. Okay, well actually, just going on with the fight, Toro's getting his butt kicked. But then Mando shows up and he's like, nice distraction as he's aiming a gun at Fennec. And they get Fennec basically, cuffed. And then Toro goes over and gets his gun. My question is there a history to Fennec prior to now? Is this a character
she's been
that
a
has...
bounty hunter for, I don't want to say back into the Clone Wars, but potentially back into the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And I think she's even a bounty hunter that Darth Vader has used.
Wow, okay.
As well. Like, obviously, Boba Fett's the big one that Darth Vader uses, but I think she's like one that he has used before as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, because just the way that they were talking about her, I'm like, this is alluding to, this has been a character, like, I swear. And so I was just kind of wondering if she's been something that, somebody who's, been around.
I don't think we actually do see her in the films, but I think in some of the books and comics she is seen.
Gotcha.
Or at least referred to.
Okay. Well, anyway,
but they throw some cuffs on her.
Yep.
And, at this point they got to figure out what they're going to do because they've only got the one speeder bike now.
Right.
And, Mando says, tells Toto, that's what I'm calling him from now on, to go back and get the dewback. And, Toto is like, well, why would I do that? So you can just ride off with my bounty. And Mando's like, yeah, whatever, kid. Fine, I'll go get it. But then, he also warns Toto to not let her near the bike. Because, like you said, it kind of preludes it to her experience.
Yeah.
And so, like, as we saw in the fight with her and Toto, she has combat experience. She knows what she's doing. Mm-hmm. She is deadly.
Yeah.
Then Mando kind of just goes off to find the dewback.
Right. And it shows Toto and Fennec. I don't know what to call her, so we're just going to stick with her actual name. She kind of is talking to him and swaying him. Basically being like, you know what you're dealing with, right? Like, kind of like being like, let me go because you have such a higher value target. Mm-hmm. And you have not even been aware of it this entire time. And she kind of tells him what was going on with Mando and lets him know, like, dude, you will be legendary. Like, this isn't even about you getting into the guild. Think about your reputation, and she's truly, kind of getting him to change his mind. So he agrees to let her go. And kind of goes up to take off her cuffs, and she's waiting for him to.
And then he shoots her right in the gut.
Blast her tummy.
Just it's like Han shot first, but less cool.
Yeah. And then he gets on the speeder bike and just takes off.
Yeah, well, and because she'd even said to him, like, you got to think about yourself first, like. Yeah, you made an agreement with Mando, but think about yourself first. Don't, you come first above agreements you've made, And then that's when he's like, if I would have let your binders off, you would have killed me.
Yeah. But anyway, Mando shows up to find Fennec's body and then returns back to Pell's Auto Care, sponsor. I don't even know. That doesn't even really truly make sense because, like, auto care. Well, I guess auto because a lot of things are automotive, but like kind of automatic, in a ship.
Penn's shipwright.
What was that?
Penn's shipwright.
Shipwright.
Yes. So back in olden days, and even now, when they make ships, like even now with military ships and whatnot, it's made at a shipwright. That's WRIGHT, by the way, for right.
Okay, well, I'm still going to probably go with Pell's Auto Care just because I like that better. But, anyway, yeah, so Mando shows up and Toro is nearby because as soon as Mando shows up, he doesn't really see anybody. And then Toro comes out.
Well, not just
Toto
that, but
out.
you also see a speeder bike there at the
Oh,
bay.
yeah. Well, yeah, so it indicates that he is there.
And the droids are hiding out in the office. And they see Mando and they all just duck down. But Mando starts approaching kind of cautiously. And Toto's, it's like, oh, it's about time you got here. It took you long enough. And we see him with a gun on the mechanic holding the child. Yeah.
And he kind of comes out and they exchange a little bit of words and stuff, but he instructs Pell to handcuff Mando behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
And so she comes up behind him and notices that Mando has a flash thing. I just wrote flashbang. I know that's not what it is. It's not a flashbang, but a flash charge behind his back. And she kind of makes the comment. She's like, "You're smarter than you look," and classic Fran. But anyway, he fires it and blinds Toto, and then ducks off to the side. And while Toto's looking around for Mando, Mando is to the side of him and shoots him.
Just pops.
Yeah, just plap, kills him. And the child was in Toto's hand and just freaking got dropped. Probably going to end up looking like Yaddle because he was dropped on his head when he was a baby. But anyway, they're looking for him, and it turns out he's just hiding behind some baskets.
Yeah.
But Mando takes the money off of Toto and pays Pell. And based on her reaction, it's a lot.
Yeah, like way more than she was owed.
Yeah. And, Pell sends her droids to dispose of Toto's body. She's like, take him off, whatever, and dump him. And then Mando takes off. The last scene, though, that we see of this episode, we see Fennec's body laying there, and we just see a strange figure just approaching it. And that's kind of the end of it.
Approaching whose body?
Fennec.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said Toto. I was like, what? But yeah, we see some feet approaching Fennec's body.
Yep, and that's the end of that episode. Yeah. Oh, and one last word from today's sponsor. Hey there, traveler. Are you once again stuck in a sticky situation? Is your ship damaged? Is your normal nanny too expensive? Once more, Pell Motto has got you covered. Stop in and utilize her over-there ship repair daycare one-stop shop. Radio in to Mos Eisley and ask for Pell. Tell her that Your In-Depth sent you, and you will receive one free body disposal straight to Beggar's Canyon. We are not liable for any legal ramifications taking place as a result of such a request. I don't know why I had fun writing these things. I know they're stupid, but I think they're fun.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Anyways, that covers it for today's episode.
Yes, it does.
Just a reminder, every 1,000 downloads, you guys will get a blooper reel, and whenever we hit our first 100 comments, we'll do that live stream coverage of an episode.
Yes.
Where you guys can, chime in, send us some comments, and ask any questions you might have. In the meantime, before we reach that point, if you do have any questions, we do have the Your In-Depth email. That is yourindepth@gmail.com. Um,
Yes.
and then wasn't there another one?
I mean, Discord.
Oh yeah, the Discord channel as well. And obviously, you can leave comments or ask questions
Yep.
on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Podbean,
Yes.
whatever other podcast things that this is on, because I don't know what all of them that you put up that on, Jacob.
A lot. I don't know what exactly you can actually comment on. I noticed that, like, well, for example, Spotify, you can't comment on the podcast, but any place that you can comment, just comment those. We will read them and get you guys an answer. And especially if you email us at that yourinDepth at Gmail. If you email us at that, we'll reply directly to you, but then we'll probably bring it up in the next episode. So, if you want a direct response, I would say that or Discord. Otherwise, comment, whatever, we'll get to it eventually.
I need to apologize. I said comments. I meant reviews.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
That's just regarding your questions, right? Comments are just referring to your questions. But yeah, if you want to get that live stream, that interactive one, definitely leave an Apple Podcast review.
Yeah. And it looks like, did we read this new one from December 1st, 2020?
Probably.
It says name unavailable.
I think so.
And
Then
it says great podcast, fun to listen to.
okay.
So if we did not read that, there it is. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us a name unless that is your name on Apple Podcasts, which is kind of a strange name, but whatever. But thank you to that person for leaving that review. That brings us up to 8.
Yes.
So we've only got another 92 to go.
Yeah, we're 8% of the way. Hey, just keep. That's really easy math, by the way. But either way, keep them coming. But anyway, we're not going to drag this out too much longer. So we're pretty well done. If you want to hear more of us, go over to Future Instinct on YouTube. See Evan play a bunch of different games. If you want to see me on YouTube, go to Rude, Crude, and Socially Unacceptable. I do the exact same thing. I will also be posting podcast highlights in video form, which isn't going to be a webcam thing, but it'll just be a video with the audio overlaid. But either way, thanks for joining on Your In Depth.
Peace.
Yeah.
Deuces.